What are you doing now with EY?
Often organisations don't realise how vulnerable they are. Particularly senior exec management doesn't realise how vulnerable the company is to a cyber security breach. So we take senior management through a simulated breach and we actually explain to them and take them through at quite a detailed level what it actually means to be breached. So less of the technical, how does the response go? More, what are you going to tell your customers? What are you going to tell the media? What are you going to tell your regulator in your industry when a breach happens and you inevitably have to go into that detail?
What kind of challenges do your clients have?
Most people believe that their controls are bulletproof and they can't be breached. The reality is quite different actually. And because you can't prevent yourself from being a target of cyber attacks, one of the things that companies haven't really grasped fully is how good their detection needs to be. Because a breach happens in a matter of hours or days, and you only have that time window to understand that there's something wrong happening and to intervene and make sure that that break-in doesn't turn into a data breach. So we help companies design a better detection capability to understand and to install electronic alarm systems so that they can understand actually what's going on wrong at the time. And to do that for a large global company, that's a big job and a hugely challenging and rewarding design and build experience.
In terms of a disruptive event in the industry, is there something that could happen that would radically change the industry as we know it today?
You only have to open the mainstream newspapers these days to understand that nearly every day there's something that happens within the cybersecurity sphere that rocks one industry or another. I think there is real fear out there now that businesses are overextended and that they are pretty much unable to keep up with the surge in threats and managing their own risks. So there's a real sense and nervousness, I think, within the regulatory and often within the government spheres that something could happen to cause a systemic shock.
Would the work that you do be locally driven, or would you work with a lot of clients from overseas?
That's one of the great things about working in EY in Dublin. That practice is very integrated across Europe. So once it was formed, our client list transformed pretty much overnight, and we got to work with household names in global banking and insurance. And I think that's what's kept me here in this role for so long within EY, just the diversity of what I'm doing.
Looking at cyber and looking at the team that you have in Dublin now, what kind of people would you be looking at to come in and join that team?
We've been on the hunt for architects, engineers and analysts for the last 2 years who are passionate about cybersecurity, who have a real thirst and a hunger to learn, and a real willingness and ability to see the problem from the client's perspective. So if you've experience in an area of technology that's given you exposure to aspects of security, we want to talk to you.